A 1.5 litre turbocharged 3-cylinder in a BMW which has an M badge. This is the new F74 218 M Sport Pro, the most affordable way to get into the BMW lineup. And we are going to answer 3 very important questions with it. No, it's not an M car by any means. In fact, it's not even something like the M340i. The 218 M Sport is basically the entry-level luxury sedan from BMW with a fancy body kit and some fancy bits in the interior. That's pretty much it. If you want a performance car, go and buy a performance car and do not buy the 218 M Sport, because this car is not going to impress you in the ways that you think it will. The way it will impress you is completely different. I think so BMW as a brand is becoming a little bit more comfort oriented, and the 218 is the perfect example of that. The older 220i M Sport felt a little bit confused in what it was. Yes, it was small, the dimensions were pretty compact, but the suspension was pretty stiff, the steering was super heavy, and the car was just a bit confused as to what it wanted to be. It was definitely not a pocket rocket, but it was not comfortable either. Whereas the 218 is not a pocket rocket, but it is comfortable. And that is very surprising, because look at the wheels and tires. Look at how thin the tire sidewall is. Yet still, the 218 has amazing comfort, which I was very surprised with. This car has been amazing to drive in the city. It truly is the ultimate daily driver if you want a BMW in particular. The handling of the 218 also is fairly nice, and that's thanks to because the 218 shares its platform with the Mini Cooper platform. So naturally this car handles fairly nicely for a front wheel drive car. But I know the biggest talking point is at almost 50 lakh rupees, BMW is giving you a 1.5 litre turbocharged 3-cylinder engine. 156 or so horsepower and 250 Nm with a 7-speed dual clutch gearbox. Now I know people are going to throw tantrums about this, BMW is basically scamming people, this, that, it's supposed to be a proper enthusiast driver's car, but like I said, the 218 is not supposed to do that. If you want something that will do that, go buy the Golf GTI. This is a through and through comfortable luxury sedan, nothing else to it. If you talk about the engine, it has decent fuel economy. For a 3-cylinder, the refinement is very good. You can only really feel the vibrations once you start going into the higher rev range of the car. And honestly speaking, don't even go close, because it's not going to impress you in that way. The gearbox is fairly smooth, the 7-speed dual clutch. You barely feel the shifts if you're just wandering about, pottering around town like I am. And I mean, yeah, there's nothing much to talk about. Don't drive this car like it's an M340i. Drive it how it's meant to be driven, and trust me, you'll enjoy the driving experience of the 218. Smooth, comfortable, fairly fuel efficient. Those are the 3 words that perfectly go with the 218. The answer to that question is fairly simple. We came over here to this little restaurant here in Tamini Ghat, and the owner of the restaurant thought this was a Honda City or a Hyundai Verna, because this car doesn't look like a traditional BMW sedan. It doesn't follow the traditional 3-box design that BMW has been known for. Moreover, it looks a little bit futuristic in some areas, a little weird in some areas. I totally get from the back, it looks pretty much like a Honda City with the new taillight design. From the front, it does look kind of aggressive from some angles. You have this pretty big kidney grille, these aggressive looking headlamps, and this air duct over here genuinely reminds me of the G90 M5. And from some angles it does look pretty nice, but overall I think so it's a little bit of a weird one because this car doesn't really, resemble any other car in the BMW lineup. Talking about what you get extra in the M Sport Pro package, well, it is all of the blacked out elements on the outside. It basically gets the shadow line package as standard. You also get this illuminated kidney grille, these M Sport alloys, and yeah, overall it's a pretty loaded car in that sense, but in terms of looks, well, I'm not a big fan of it, but let me know what you think. BMW is asking almost 3 lakh rupees more than the Mercedes A200 limousine for this 218 M Sport Pro. That's a pretty big jump, but I think BMW has kind of justified it. Now I know I've been getting bashed in the comments for being impressed for stuff like ambient lighting, cool displays and all of that, but if you're buying a 218 M Sport to be like a performance car, to be a ghat monster or a B-road bomber, well, you're the idiot, not the car. This car is not meant to be like a proper performance car. It's a comfortable, luxurious, entry-level sedan from BMW, and if you ask me, it does that particular job very nicely. On the interior, this thing does feel like a proper spaceship. If you sit in it at night, yeah, the ambient lighting truly brings this car to life. Right now, it's in the M Sport color, guys, and it looks really cool. If you flick through the modes, the colors change and it kind of glows in some of the settings. Super cool. I feel this dashboard is a little overdone though. It has these M Sport colors kind of stitched into it. Yeah, this is overkill, but aside from that, the design is really nice. You have these two massive displays up in front of you. The graphics, animations, really nice, but the infotainment system has the usual BMW complaints. AC controls in the display, difficult to use. Again, scroller wheel not there, so while driving, very fidgety. But apart from that, pretty big icons, pretty big tabs and everything, so not very difficult to use, but you do have to take your eyes off of the road. The steering wheel is nice, big, chunky, but plastic paddle shifter, so not very nice. You get the M Sport logo as well, but overall, I mean, you're not using the paddles anyways because like I said, not a performance car. Nice to hold, very premium feeling. The seats also really nice. They're pretty wide also for a car of this size, and the bolsters are pretty thick as well. So if you're cornering hard, which again you're not going to do in this car, this thing is pretty comfortable. You get a pretty banging Harman & Kardon sound system as well, and trust me, you need to drive this car at night during your gaiety time because yeah, at night is where this car truly shines, and overall, I've been really enjoying driving this thing around. What you need to understand is that the 2 Series is a product of customer demand. The person who is buying a 2GC is probably buying it because of the BMW badge. They want it for show off, to tell people that they have a BMW and show people the gimmicks. Perfect for people in sales. That's why having a crazy engine or better driving dynamics was not that important for BMW. The crazy ambient lighting, headlight animations is something that people who actually buy this car want. And before somebody says that this is a paid review, I will happily invite you to our office and let you do an audit. But probably you wouldn't have the brains for that as well. But here is the real question. My honest opinion on the 2 Series Gran Coupe is that it's not meant for you and me. It's not meant for a purebred BMW enthusiast. This car is for a much broader audience. It is for someone who wants to get into the luxury car or premium car game and, well, just have a very good experience. This car is 101% better than the Mercedes A-Class that you can currently buy. The interior feels more special. The overall build quality is much better. And I know in terms of BMWs, this has taken a little bit of a dip in terms of the interior build quality, but this still is a very premium looking, a very premium feeling car, and that's what I like about it. It's an amazing daily driver. It is something that you can just hop into and go wherever you want. And yeah, honestly speaking, the 500, 600 or so kilometers that I've done with the 2 Series Gran Coupe have been super comfortable, no nonsense, and yeah, felt like a spaceship on the inside. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let us know in the comments down below what are your thoughts on the 218 M Sport Pro. Comment all of that good stuff down below, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one.